So I'm working on the stay with Atlas. So we're going to work in this bigger environment out here in the arena. So I'm going to give him my cue and then just kind of step back just a little bit. And then as I step back and he stays there and doesn't move, I'm going to click and then reinforce him. So same process, just different environment. I want to kind of proof this behavior and make sure that he can do it in different locations. So that time I took a couple steps back. This is looking pretty good. All of my horses pretty much caught on to stay really well. I would say Sebastian took the longest because I'm not really sure. I don't know if I explained it super well to him, but everybody else caught on really well, really quickly. So, but I mean, that proves that every horse is different. So, and it definitely did help me learn how to teach the behavior better as well. And versus if all of them were just perfect all the time. So, and each horse is different with that, with each different behavior. So same cue, I back up. He gets a little confused. I'm going to ignore him if he comes to me. I'm not going to reinforce that. I'm just going to give him kind of a timeout, and then I'm going to re-cue and try again. Good. And I could probably make this behavior in this session a little bit better if I reinforced him when his head was moving away and not looking at me. Same kind of thing that I was doing with Sebastian, because he kind of would look at me, and that's kind of the beginning, like his head and then his neck and then his feet. So if I would maybe pause for a second, see if Atlas can look straight ahead, and then reinforce. That's something that I should be working on as well. So re-cue, step to the side. I should be, yeah, waiting for that head to be straight, because I think that would definitely help him out. He's being good here, he's staying, but I think that would just make the behavior better. So re-cue. See how his head turns and really follows me? The next thing that's going to follow are his feet. So I need to be really careful of that. Good. I'm going to click that where he's starting to turn that head away from me to his left. That's the behavior that I want. So I'm re-cueing. I'm kind of changing it up. I'm going to go backwards this time. And this is probably a little bit easier for him because then he doesn't turn his head because I'm not off to one side. So I can kind of help him out a little bit. So I'm re-cueing and he's staying nice and straight and keeping his feet still. So cue, back up 2 steps, click, reinforce. Very nice. On the other side, see if I can get his head straight. So same problem. I need to really be aware of that. That's the biggest mistake that I'm making right now. So here's my cue. And then I'm just clicking and reinforcing, but I need to be aware that his head should be straight, and that's just going to help me out. Because this video I had taken before I had worked with Sebastian on the stay, but then I'm actually voicing over it after I've done Sebastian. So now I've learned more information, so now I can change and improve my training. So we worked on that stay a little bit, and then I want to go ahead and grab my long target and do his second session with the long target. And you can see the difference today. As soon as I grab that target, he really wants to go and follow it and touch it, and that's a really great sign that he's liking this job. So he's liking the target, he's wanting to go to it, so that looks really, really positive. He's not afraid of it, so that looks great. Okay, so I'm gonna get my target set, and then see how he's coming forward and then touch again. So same thing as last time. I need to make sure that I'm reinforcing when he's at a set distance away from it so that he doesn't feel like he has to chase it and that he just can't get it. So that's the important part of this that I need to fix. So pick it up. I should be clicking here as he's going to it. He doesn't have to touch it, he's just going to it. And then I should be reinforcing with my hand in the middle of his chest. So taking another step toward him, straightening his head out so that it's in the center of his chest, because I'm reinforcing while he's kind of turned and curved toward me, that you're also reinforcing position when you feed one. When you feed an animal or feed the horse, they're reinforcements. You got to be really careful with that. Good. I'm going to be clicking here as he's going to the target, not necessarily when he's touching it. So this is a little bit of a problem-solving session as well, and you're not going to do everything perfect every time. You got to learn it somehow, and this is how I learned it. So have him turn around, go the other way. And I like that he was willing to go over it. That's a good sign. So you're going to be clicking here as he's going forward to the end, right here. Should be clicking here. again, clicking here as he's going forward to it, and I don't need to be worrying so much about him touching it. But I want him going forward, following the target, and then once I have that really well, he's every time I pick up that target, he's following it. So I should be clicking here. Then I can start adding a cue. So I can tell him my cue is going to be walk on, and I point up in the direction I want him to go. Then I lift up the target if he hasn't already walked on, because I want him first thinking about that walking on behavior and even offering it to me, and then I can add that cue so as he's starting to do it. So that's really important, and then that's one of those things that if you're switching from like negative reinforcement or like traditional training, that's something you never do. You never let the horse just offer a behavior, and now you really want that, so you can start putting cues on things. So I'm going to put the target up horizontally. I want him to see it that way because I do want to like help him out with the target if he needs it. But most of the time I'm just going to have it up horizontally or vertically. So I'm going to reinforce him, make sure he's cool with this so I can move it around and he isn't worried about it at all, because I want to have it if I need it, but I don't want him to be afraid of it when it's in this position. So that looks good. So that helps if I reinforce him while it's like this. So again, the kind of the context of when you reinforce is important. So bring up a target. Should be reinforcing here as he's got his ears forward and he's trying to touch the target.